I was sitting in my empty apartment staring at my phone as it buzzed with a text from Kayla. 3 simple words glowed on the screen. Do you miss me? We had been together for almost 2 years. We had laughed, cooked meals side by side, talked about futures that felt possible. But somewhere along the way, love turned into a game I did not know I was playing. She would block me to teach me lessons, she said, to give herself space, to make me understand. I smiled at that text, my fingers steady as I typed 6 digits. That storage unit code was the last thing she would ever get from me. Before I tell you how I ended up packing my girlfriend's entire life into a 10 by 10 storage unit, let me know where you are watching from in the comments below. Hit that like button if you have ever dealt with someone who used silence as a weapon, and subscribe, because this story gets wild. Let me take you back to where it all started. I met Kayla on a rainy afternoon in Portland 2 years ago. I had ducked into a coffee shop to escape the downpour, and there she was behind the counter, hair pulled back in a messy bun, smiling at customers like the rain outside did not exist. Her energy pulled me in. She was funny, warm, the kind of person who made you feel like you were the only one in the room when she talked to you. We started dating within a week. Everything moved fast, but it felt right. She would text me good morning before I even woke up. We would spend weekends hiking Forest Park or trying new restaurants in the Pearl District. 6 months in, she brought up the idea of moving into my apartment. I lived in a decent 1-bedroom place in Northwest Portland, nothing fancy but comfortable. I said yes without thinking twice. It seemed like the natural next step. The first few months living together were good. We fell into a rhythm. I would make coffee in the mornings while she got ready for work. We would cook dinner together most nights, her chopping vegetables while I handled the stove. Friday nights meant movie marathons on the couch. Sunday mornings meant farmers market runs and lazy brunch. I thought I had found something real, something that would last. Then came the first time she blocked me. It was over something small. I had forgotten to pick up milk on my way home from work. She had asked me that morning, sent me a reminder text at lunch, and I still forgot. When I walked through the door empty-handed, she looked at me like I had committed some unforgivable sin. Her face went cold. She did not yell. She just turned around, walked into the bedroom, and shut the door. I thought she needed a moment to cool off. I sent her a text apologizing, promising I would run back out to get the milk. No response. I waited an hour, then sent another message. Nothing. That night I tried calling. The call would not go through. I checked Instagram, Facebook, even WhatsApp. Blocked on everything. I sat on the couch, confused and anxious. We lived in the same apartment. She was 20 feet away behind a closed door, and I could not reach her. The silence pressed down on my chest. I kept checking my phone every few minutes, hoping the messages would suddenly deliver. They never did. The next evening, my phone buzzed. Messages from Kayla started flooding in like nothing had happened. Hey babe, what is for dinner? I stared at the screen, relief mixing with frustration. I called her immediately. What happened? Why did you block me? She laughed, light and easy. I just needed space, Jerry. Do not make it a big deal. But we lived together. You could have just said you needed space. I did, by blocking you. It is not that serious. I wanted to argue, but I was so relieved to have her talking to me again that I let it go. I told myself it was a one-time thing, a weird reaction to a stressful day. People handle anger differently, right? I convinced myself it would not happen again. It happened again 3 weeks later. I came home 15 minutes late because of traffic on the Burnside Bridge. She had been waiting for dinner. When I explained about the backup, she nodded, said it was fine, and went quiet. An hour later, I was blocked again. This time, it lasted 8 hours. No explanation, just silence. Then, suddenly, everything back to normal the next morning. The third time was because I forgot we had hit our 2-week anniversary of some random date I did not even know we were celebrating. 2 days of being blocked. The fourth time was because I went out for beers with my best friend Marcus without giving her advance notice. 1 full day of silence. A pattern emerged. Any small mistake, any perceived slight, and the blocking would begin. Each time I would spiral into anxiety. I would replay every conversation, every text, trying to figure out what I had done wrong. I would promise myself I would be more careful, more attentive, more perfect. Marcus noticed the change in me. We met up for lunch one Saturday and he did not waste time. "Dude, you look stressed. What is going on?" I tried to brush it off, but he kept pushing. Finally, I told him about the blocking. He put down his burger and stared at me. "That is not normal, Jerry. She is manipulating you. She just needs time to cool down when she is upset. It is fine." "It is not fine. You are walking around like you are scared of your own girlfriend." He was right, but I could not admit it. I defended, Kayla made excuses, changed the subject. Inside, though, his words stuck with me. I was scared. Scared of saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, being the wrong thing. Our apartment, which used to feel like home, started to feel like a minefield. 6 months into living together, the blocking escalated. It stopped needing a real reason. I did not respond to a text within 30 minutes because I was in a meeting at work. Blocked. I said I did not want to go to her coworker's birthday party because I had been working 10-hour days and needed rest. Blocked. I told her I was not a fan of the expensive watch she bought me because it was not really my style. Blocked. Each episode lasted longer. What used to be a few hours turned into days. I lived in a constant state of anxiety. I would check my phone compulsively, making sure I could still send her messages, still see her online. I felt like I was walking on eggshells in my own home. My brother David came to visit from Seattle one weekend. He took one look at me and pulled me aside. "You look terrible, man. What is happening?" I explained the situation. He did not hide his reaction. "She is living rent-free in your place and treating you like this, Jerry. You need to wake up." "It is complicated." "It is not complicated. She is controlling you. This is not love." But I could not hear it. I was too deep in it, too convinced that if I just tried harder, communicated better, loved her more, things would change. I decided to have a serious conversation with Kayla about how her blocking made me feel. I planned it out. Waited for a calm evening when we were both home and relaxed. I sat down next to her on the couch and kept my voice gentle. "Kayla, I need to talk to you about something that has been bothering me. When you block me, it makes me feel like I am constantly doing something wrong, like I am walking on eggshells. Can we find a different way to handle disagreements? Maybe we could just talk things through instead." She stared at the TV for a long moment. Then she turned to me and her expression shifted from neutral to angry in seconds. "Are you seriously telling me how I am allowed to deal with my emotions?" "No, I am just saying that maybe we could communicate differently." "You are too sensitive, Jerry. I need space to process things. If you really loved me, you would understand that." "I do understand, but we live together. We cannot just shut each other out." "I am not shutting you out. I am taking care of myself. Maybe you need to think about why you cannot handle me needing time alone." The conversation twisted. Somehow, I became the problem. I was too needy, too demanding, too unable to respect her boundaries. By the end of it, I felt confused and guilty. Was I wrong for bringing it up? Was I the one being unreasonable? She stood up, grabbed her phone, and walked to the bedroom. The door clicked shut. Minutes later, I was blocked again. This time, it lasted 4 days. Those 4 days were some of the worst. She was physically present in the apartment. I could hear her moving around, showering, making coffee. But she would not look at me, would not acknowledge my existence. I tried speaking to her directly. She would walk past me like I was invisible. I left notes. She threw them away without reading them. I felt like I was living with a ghost. When she finally unblocked me, she acted like nothing had happened. "Hey, Jerry, let us order Thai food tonight. I am craving pad see ew." Her tone was cheerful. Normal, like the past 4 days of silence had not occurred. I wanted to scream. I wanted to grab her shoulders and shake her, and ask what was wrong with her. But I was so relieved to have her back that I just said, "Sure, Thai sounds good." Marcus met me for coffee later that week. He took one look at me and shook his head. "You have lost weight. You have dark circles under your eyes. Jerry, this girl is draining you." "I do not know what to do. I love her." "That is not love, man. That is control. Love does not make you feel like this." Deep down, I knew he was right, but I felt trapped. Trapped by my own hope that things would improve. Trapped by the fear of what would happen if I tried to leave. Trapped by the sunk cost of 2 years together. I started thinking about breaking up, but could not bring myself to do it. The thought of confronting Kayla about ending things filled me with dread. What would she do? How would she react? Would she make my life even more miserable? So I stayed. And the blocking continued. It was a Friday morning in late February when everything changed. I woke up, reached for my phone, and saw that Kayla had blocked me again. I had no idea why. The night before had been normal. We had watched a show together, gone to bed at the same time. Nothing unusual had happened. I got up and found her in the kitchen making coffee. "Kayla, did I do something wrong?" She did not even look at me. Just poured her coffee and walked back to the bedroom. I tried texting her from my phone. The messages turned green, blocked. I checked social media, blocked everywhere. The familiar panic set in, but this time it was mixed with something else. Exhaustion. I was so tired of this cycle. 1 day passed. I sent messages that would not deliver. I asked her directly what was wrong. She ignored me completely. 2 days passed. I was going insane. She was in the apartment, living her life, laughing on the phone with her friends, getting ready and going out. She looked at me sometimes with this small smile like she enjoyed watching me suffer. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. I tried reaching out through David's phone. "Please, Kayla, just talk to me. Is this relationship over? Can you at least tell me what I did?" No response. By day 6, I was broken. I sat on the couch watching her get ready to go out with friends. She was humming to herself, doing her makeup, completely content. She glanced at me, and I saw it clearly for the first time. She was enjoying this. She liked having this power over me. This was not about needing space or processing emotions. This was about control. On day 7, I called Marcus. "I cannot do this anymore." He came over within an hour. Kayla was still in the bedroom. Marcus looked around the apartment, then at me. "She has been blocking you for a week while living in your apartment." I nodded. "This is insane, Jerry. She is not teaching you a lesson. She is torturing you." Something clicked in my brain. All the fog, all the confusion, all the self-doubt cleared in that moment. Marcus was right. This was not love. This was not even a relationship. This was one person wielding power over another for their own satisfaction. "What are you going to do?" Marcus asked. I sat there for a long moment. Then I felt something I had not felt in months. Clarity, anger, determination. I am done. I am completely done. What does that mean? It means she wants to block me, fine, but she cannot do it from my apartment. Marcus looked at me carefully. What is your plan? I thought about it. I could have confronted her, demanded she leave, but she would have made it ugly. She would have cried, manipulated, turned everything around on me. Or worse, she would have refused to leave, and I would have had to go through a formal eviction process. Months of still living together in that toxic mess. No, I needed a clean break. I needed to take back control of my own life in a way that left no room for her games. I need your help, I told Marcus, and David's too. The following Monday day, 9 of being blocked, I knew Kayla would be at work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. She worked at a marketing firm downtown. I called in sick to my own job. Then I called Marcus and David. I need help moving some stuff. They arrived at 9:30 a.m., just after Kayla had left for work. I had already rented a storage unit over the weekend, a 10 by 10 space at a facility in outer southeast Portland. It cost $120 a month. I paid for 3 months up front. Are you sure about this? David asked. I have never been more sure of anything. We got to work. I started in the bedroom, pulling all of Kayla's clothes from the closet and dresser. Everything went into boxes. Her jeans, her dresses, her work clothes, her pajamas. I was methodical about it. Each box was labeled and taped shut. We packed over 12 boxes of just her clothing. Marcus handled the bathroom. All her toiletries, makeup, skincare products. She had an expensive collection, hundreds of dollars worth of serums and creams. It all went into boxes. Her shampoo, conditioner, body wash, everything. 2 boxes filled with just bathroom items. David packed up her books from the living room shelves, her laptop and charger from the desk, her decorative items scattered around the apartment. 3 boxes of personal belongings. The throw pillows she had insisted on buying. The wall art she had picked out. The plants she never watered but liked having around. We worked fast. Her shoe collection alone filled 4 boxes. We loaded everything into David's truck and my car, made the drive out to the storage unit, unloaded it all and arranged everything neatly inside the unit. I was not trying to destroy her things or be petty. I just wanted them out of my space. I took photos of everything in the storage unit just in case I needed proof later that I had not damaged or stolen anything. Every box, every item documented and safely stored. Then we drove back and cleaned up the apartment. By 2 p.m., every single item that belonged to Kayla was out of my apartment. The space looked different, bigger, emptier in some ways, but also lighter. We made sure there was no trace of the move. Then I did something I had been planning all morning. I called a locksmith. He arrived at 3 p.m. and changed the locks on my apartment door. New deadbolt, new handle, new keys. It cost me $150, worth every penny. By 4:30 p.m., everything was done. The apartment was clean. The locks were changed. All of Kayla's belongings were safely stored in a unit that I alone had the code to. Marcus and David sat with me on the couch. The space felt different. It felt like mine again. "How do you feel?" Marcus asked. I took a deep breath. Free. I feel free. At 6:30 p.m., I heard it. The sound of someone trying to unlock the front door. The key would not work. Then came the knocking. Soft at first, then harder, then banging. I sat on the couch and did not move. My phone was face down on the coffee table. I could hear it buzzing, but did not look at it. The knocking continued for 10 minutes, then stopped. I heard footsteps walking away down the hall. At 6:45 p.m., I finally picked up my phone. Kayla had unblocked me. My screen was flooded with notifications, missed calls, text messages. Jerry, what is going on? Why will not the door open? Did you change the locks? This is my home too. Open the door right now. Jerry, please. I do not understand what is happening. I read every message. Then I set my phone back down without responding. More messages came through over the next hour. Her tone shifted from angry to confused to panicked to manipulative. Babe, I am sorry about blocking you. I was just upset. Can we please talk about this? I do not have anywhere to go tonight. How could you do this to me? You are being cruel. I thought you loved me. I did not respond to any of it. I ordered pizza for dinner, watched TV, went to bed early. It was the first good night of sleep I had gotten in months. The messages continued the next day. Kayla had apparently stayed with a friend. She tried calling me 17 times. Each call went to voicemail. She sent long paragraphs explaining that she understood now that she would change, that blocking me was wrong, that she loved me and needed me. I read them all, felt nothing. 2 years of being manipulated and controlled had drained every ounce of feeling I had for her. The girl I fell in love with at that coffee shop was not the same person sending these messages. Or maybe she was, and I had just been too blinded by hope to see it. On Wednesday, 2 days after I had packed up her life, Kayla sent a different kind of message. It was short. 3 words. Do you miss me? I stared at those words for a long time. Did I miss her? I missed the idea of what we could have been. I missed the version of her I thought existed. But did I miss the real Kayla, the one who used silence as a weapon and enjoyed watching me suffer? No. I did not miss that person at all. I typed out a response. Storage Unit 247, code 835921. Your stuff is there, paid through March. I hit send. Then I did something I had never done before. I blocked her, on everything. Phone, social media, email. Every possible way she could reach me. And it felt good. It felt like closing a door that should have been shut months ago. The first week was strange. My apartment felt too quiet sometimes. I would catch myself listening for her footsteps, her voice. But it was not her I was missing. It was the routine, the familiarity of another person being around. I had gotten used to the chaos. Now I had to get used to peace. Marcus and David checked in on me constantly. They made sure I was not alone, too much, invited me out, kept me busy. I appreciated it more than I could say. I also started seeing a therapist. I needed to understand why I had stayed so long in something so toxic. Why I had let someone treat me that way. What I learned surprised me. My therapist explained concepts like emotional manipulation, gaslighting, intermittent reinforcement. The blocking was not just about punishment. It was about training me to fear her absence, to do anything to avoid it. It was about maintaining control. Every time she blocked me and then came back, it reinforced the pattern. I would feel such relief when she returned that I would forget how terrible the blocking felt. I would just be grateful to have her back. Understanding it helped. It helped me realize that what happened was not my fault. I was not too sensitive or too needy or too anything. I was someone who got caught in a manipulative relationship and took too long to see it for what it was. A month after I packed up her life, I started to feel like myself again. I picked up my guitar, something I had not touched in over a year, because Kayla said my playing annoyed her. I went hiking on weekends, trails I used to love before spending all my free time trying to keep Kayla happy. I read books. I cooked meals I actually wanted to eat instead of what she preferred. David came to visit and noticed the change immediately. You look like yourself again. I smiled. I feel like myself again. About 3 months later, I heard through a mutual acquaintance that Kayla was dating someone new. According to the friend, she was already playing the same games, blocking him, giving him silent treatment, testing his limits to see how much control she could have. I felt a pang of sadness for him, whoever he was, but I also knew it was not my responsibility to warn him. People have to figure these things out on their own. I had to learn the hard way. Maybe he would too. What I did learn, what I carry with me now, is that love should never feel like walking on eggshells. Real love does not use silence as punishment. Real love does not play mind games or test your devotion through cruelty. Real love feels safe. It feels steady. It does not make you anxious or afraid or less than who you are. I learned that the moment someone uses blocking or any form of communication withdrawal as a weapon to control you, they have already shown you who they are. Believe them. Do not wait around hoping they will change. Do not sacrifice your mental health trying to be perfect enough to avoid their punishment. Just leave. I do not regret letting Kayla go. I only regret not doing it sooner. Those 2 years taught me what I will never tolerate again. They taught me my own worth. They taught me that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pack up someone's control over you and lock it away forever. And sometimes the best response to, "Do you miss me?" is a 6-digit code and silence. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a relationship where someone used silence to control you? How did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments below. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Subscribe for more real stories about relationships, boundaries, and finding yourself again. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps someone out there realize they deserve better. Take care of yourself, and remember that choosing your peace is never the wrong choice.